Hello, welcome to another exciting episode of Motorcycle.com YouTube TV. Today we got a 2021 Honda ADV 150, which is a cool little scooter, and also a 2021 Honda Trail 125. Yeah. And I brought Ryan Adams up. People complain I don't give him enough chance to talk on the videos. What do you think, Ryan?
It was good. It was a really good day. That's all I got to say anyway.
All right. This plastic-covered new ADV 150 is $299 more than $4,000, the MSRP. That one is, the Trail 125 is $101 less than $4,000. So they're both kind of in the same ballpark. I'm kind of amazed that since Honda's been banging that one out, 1961, it was the Super Cub. It's what made Honda great in America. Over the years, it turned into the Trail 90, then the Trail 125, but it's still the same basic shape. It's an air-cooled, two-valve single cylinder, 125 cc's or so. But of course, over the years, we've been modernized. We got fuel injection, all the latest thing. The ADV 150 motor, I believe, began life as the SH 150. Circa 2007, I believe it was the biggest selling scooter in Italy for a long time. It's a liquid cooled engine. It's 150 cc's or so, and it spanks yours on the road. We're going to do a little drag race. Ryan thought the Trail 125 would stack up all right, but no, this thing, this baby spanks it. That one's got a 4-speed semi-automatic transmission. You got to shift. You don't have to use the clutch, but it's got 4 speeds. This one twist and go. Trail 125 is more like a motorcycle. Engine's in the middle, swing arm out back. The ADV is a scooter. The engine's out back and kind of acts as the swing arm, so there's kind of a lot of unsprung weight back there. Which one's better off-road? I didn't really go off-road on either of them.
I think the Trail is better off-road. It's got the 17-inch spoked tube wheels. It's got actually a little bit less. You said like an inch less travel
than the ADV? Yeah, it doesn't have quite as much travel as this thing
does. Doesn't feel like it off-road. It kind of just plushly handles big bumps, little bumps. The wheels track really good in the sand. Like, this thing does off-road pretty well when you're just meandering, off some little fingers off the campsite or whatever like that. If you get into anything super steep, it starts to bog down pretty good. And unfortunately, a lot of people were hoping there'd be a high and low gear on the new Trail 125 like there was on the old Trail 110s and the ones before that, but this doesn't have that. It's really based off the new Super Cub with the centrifugal clutch, and then the same engine they've been using on all that stuff, the Grom, the new Super Cub, and all that. So it's much more modernized in that regard, but it still makes more power than the old one did. So on the scooter, like if you're standing up, you kind of have that bar right in your lap, it feels like it's kind of crowding you. On the Trail, you stand up, it's a little bit more normal. And if you're not standing on the ADV 150 off-road, even if it says it has more suspension travel on the spec sheet, it doesn't feel like it. It doesn't feel like it has as much ground clearance, and with that riding position, putting your legs in front of you, you're gonna get every bump kind of up your spine. I mean, they're both fun and they're not real serious. If you're just gonna poke around on smoother stuff, yeah, either one would be fun. And that one has more power and more torque, even right off the bottom. Despite this getting a little bit larger gearing from the Super Cub, the ADV 150 still has more grunt kind of throughout the entire power band.
Kind of a shame they couldn't take this liquid-cooled motor and put it in there.
Yeah,
but
it'd be really cool.
It's a completely different thing. Because that engine looks like, that thing hasn't changed since the original Cub much at all. It's gotten bigger and more sophisticated.
Yeah.
I see the cover to take off to adjust the intake valve is right there. There's two 12 millimeter bolts, it looks like, hold that on. Adjust your intake valve right there. The exhaust valve's right up under there.
Yeah.
So if you want a motorcycle, to learn to work on motorcycles, that'd be like the perfect donor. And it'll run forever, I imagine.
Probably.
This one will probably run forever also. It's based upon the PCX 150 scooter that we tested last year. Just a little bit longer travel suspension, I believe. I think it's got a 14-inch front wheel and a 13-inch rear.
The Trail 125 is good, but I think just today alone, scooting around in town, it showed how much more convenient the ADV 150 is. You've got the kind of just that little bit more speed that you need. You've got the under seat convenience, you know, the storage locking storage. And yeah, this has got a big rack in it. It's actually rated at 44 pounds, which is a lot, and it feels like it could take much more than that.
Could put a lot.
It's substantial, but
you could stack a box of chickens on there.
Yeah, you could stack a box full of stuff from Lowe's and an 8-foot and hold an 8-foot screen. I've verified that. But when we were going up over the bridges, as soon as we hit that incline, I just watched the speedometer drop off mile per hour on the trail, and John just kept going up the hill, and thankfully I had a chase vehicle to make sure that I didn't get ran over.
I was looking at you in the mirrors, and I kept rolling out of this so you could catch up, so we could be in the same GoPro
I kept
shot.
rolling harder, like I don't know.
Just kept going back.
Yeah, I kept trying to tuck down.
So yeah, the ADV 150 will do 65. It'll do an honest 65, a little bit more than that now and then with the breeze at your back. But your trail 125 seems like it's done at 50, 51 miles an hour. It's all over.
On the way down the bridge, I saw 62, but it sounded like it was going to explode, and it felt sketchy.
You'll have to adjust your valves when you get to the bottom again. Right. Tuck them back in there. I think if you're going to plonk around out in the desert like a donkey, like you're gold prospecting, you got a big long beard, like some 60s, a Bonanza TV show from the 60s or something, that might suit you. But for around town, on surface streets, I want to be on something that'll do 60 at least.
Yeah.
Because all the cars are doing 60 all the time.
And it gets there really quick. It doesn't take forever.
Yeah.
This takes a while to get to 50.
Pretty quick. You're looking in your mirrors when you're in town on that. You're looking in your mirrors all the time.
Yeah.
It frightens me a little bit.
I think unless you're really going to get on some more technical trails and stuff, the ADV 150 is kind of the bike that I would pick for almost everything.
I think I would rather have the ADV 150 also. In fact, I'm really pretty attached to it. It's been in my garage for a couple weeks now. They're so convenient for hopping on and picking up small items, things that you need. So we're going to agree then? You like the ADV 150?
The practicality is there. The power is there. It's comfortable. Does that thing have passenger pegs?
Yeah, it does.
You can take a passenger on it. You can't take a passenger on this unless you strap them down.
You got your choice on that, on the trail 125 of stuff or a passenger. You can't have both.
Yeah.
And if you have a passenger, you usually have stuff.
That's right.
More stuff.
But the Trail 125, let's go back to that off-road idea, getting out in the woods and strapping your fishing pole on the back, going through streams on your way to grandmother's house or wherever it is you're going. You'll be able to forge streams along the way thanks to this snorkel that goes up to the bottom of the rear rack. And that's a feature from the original trails that they brought back. If you put this next to, Honda actually had a 1984 Trail 110 at the introduction of this bike a few weeks ago, and it's really a spitting image of that other bike. It doesn't have foldable handlebars, that fold down. The exhaust shield is drilled rather than slotted like the old ones, but it's really close. It really is just kind of an updated, modernized, fuel-injected version of it.
Even has a Kickstarter still.
It's got a Kickstarter on this side.
Which is kind of hit.
That brings me to another point. It's I wear like a 10.5, 11 shoe, and when my foot is on this foot peg, my heel is resting on the back here, the heel shifter, and my toe is resting on the toe shifter. So when we were first out riding this thing, the first time I got on it, I'd be going around left-hand corners and it'd start revving up, and I was like, what's happening? And then I realized it was my heel pressing a little bit on the heel shifter, so the clutch started coming apart. And so there's not a lot of foot room on that side, and on the other side you have a Kickstarter, which is really cool, and because the engine's so small, you could kickstart it with your hand. We did it a couple times at the intro, but again, on this side, now you're trying not to hit that with your heel and trying not to keep your toe on the rear brake. So foot-wise, it doesn't have a lot of room around there. It's probably one of my biggest complaints, really, on this as on its own, not really comparing it to that. That's kind of one of the things. And then the digital dash, you can't really see in most light.
I can't see it,
Yeah, it's kind of probably my two big complaints about this machine overall. Only on its own, if you, again, stacking it up against that, there are other things that come to light, like the speed and, and everything else.
Everything else. Yeah, I had a hard time shifting it smoothly. Like
Same
it's
here.
like without a clutch.
Yeah.
You try to hit it.
Yeah, you're
like,
trying to do
try
it
to match the
smooth.
RPM or something.
Yeah,
I always
roll on the throttle.
downshifting coming to a light. I'm always kind of clunk, clunk, and upshifting too. I could never get it.
Yeah.
Whereas, I don't know if you're supposed to keep the gas on.
You're supposed to
roll
roll
out of
it
it just
off.
a little bit.
Yeah, you're
maybe
supposed to
if you
roll it
own the
off,
thing
but
for a couple months, you might
get used to it.
really good at it after a while. But
Yeah.
me riding, I was like kind of jerky all the time. And
Yeah.
I was hoping there would be a top gear indicator at least to tell you when you're in fourth.
Yeah, it
because you
doesn't have
can't
a-
find out if you're in fourth or not. And if you try to upshift, it makes strange noises. And so you're already in fourth. And it's
Yeah.
like kind of.
Not until you bang down all the way through the gears and you're chirping the tire,
Yeah.
and then you see the neutral light and you know you're all the way at the bottom in
Yeah.
neutral. But
Yeah.
no gear indicator.
And then you try to go from a stop sign and you're in neutral. And all
It
the
takes a while
cars
to get
in
used
back
to.
of you are honking at you.
Something
But
different.
it's nice to be able to bag on the trail 125 a little bit. This is a comparison. This is another Honda, so we can say nice things about the ADV 150.
and you'll still
which
get the check in the mail.
which I like. Yeah, the check will still appear magically.
Yeah.
Minus the damage I did to the left side when I crashed on that railroad track.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Invoice you for that.
Oh well, these things happen. And the main thing about scooters, what were you going to say? Like, it's cool to get out in the great outdoors, but it's also cool to come in your own backyard. You just live over there.
Yeah.
I just live over there.
Yeah.
And you come down and explore places that you wouldn't go on a KTM 1290 or something. If we were on a KTM's, we'd be in Death Valley or somewhere like that. It's nice to come here.
And you're more likely to get busted if you're pulling big ADV bikes up on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
People are going to notice, and they're
Yeah.
going to come and
Yeah, they're
have
going
to
to come
shut you
get
down.
mad at you, but on the scooters,
Yeah, you pull something unintimidating
People
like
don't
this
even
on a
care.
sidewalk, you can get away with it.
yeah, whatever you want to do. The other thing is if you're riding your KTM 1290 to Alaska, you're burning like $8,000 worth of gas. This thing gets like 60 miles to a gallon
Yeah.
or more. That probably does even better. I
This
don't
is
know.
supposed to get 106, but I haven't got a number for that yet.
Haven't been able to ride that far yet.
Yeah, on
Around
that one
here.
I got 78 though.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah,
It's kind of weird they only gave the Trail 125 a 1.4 gallon tank. The scooter has a 2.1 gallon
Yeah.
tank, which it's not much, but when you're talking 60 miles a gallon,
Yeah.
it's 30 or 40 miles.
Yeah.
So it makes a big difference.
which if you're just using it in the city, you fill it once every month, depending on what
exactly.
you're doing, taking it to the grocery store.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean, everybody wants electric, but while that's still expensive and
Still on its
not
way to
quite
getting
there
more
yet,
rain.
this is the next thing to electric, a scooter.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of almost
Easy.
wish I still had an office to go to so I could ride this every day. As it is, I ride it every day to the grocery store, the hardware store, the Home Depot, the
wherever you need to go.
stuff like that. Anyhow, that's about it. That's about all we got. That's all I got.
Yeah.
You got anything
No,
else?
that's about all I got, I think.
What do we always say at the end?
What do we always say at the end?
If you like the video, click the like button, subscribe to Motorcycle.com. If you don't like the video, we don't charge you a penny, so
And yeah, guys, if you don't like the video, I promise, this is a Motorcycle.com promise, we will not charge you a dime.
although if you want to send your credit card number with a security code to John Burns at Motorcycle.com. No, don't do that.
Unless you want to.